Helldivers 2 has been out for a while, and we've gotten a taste of what it has to offer. Reviews of it tend to go either of two ways. On one hand, they will positively detail their experiences of playing online, or detail the numerous technical issues they suffered. I did not experience the latter personally, but there were definitely notable issues upon release. When you're reviewing games of notable size in 2024, it is kind of a necessity to talk about these things, as every AAA, and apparently even quadruple A games, are questionable in both content and form. For what it's worth, Helldivers has gone on to fix a lot of these issues, and the only piece of meat left on that bone is the anti-cheat. Also, to an extent, these other issues were understandable given that a lot of the initial success the game experienced was unexpected by both the developers and audience themselves. This was the source of the relatively low user reviews for a more or less universally acclaimed game, bringing it down from what would normally be a 95% or better all the way down to 71% discussing their issues with it. Peter Lindgren, the studio's technical director, even went out of his way to give a detailed and reasonable response. He directly responds to many of the claims and blatantly proves that a lot of them are simply untrue or impossible. I'll link it down in the description below so you can go over it yourself. Technicals and security is sort of an endless rabbit hole of what people have dubbed criticism of criticism of criticism, where you can critique anything as not being secure enough. So I think this is one of those things that is very much up to you. Now for the game itself, my personal experience was very much similar to other people. Rather than playing with friends, I hopped into a lobby and immediately made some. I've even gotten on to actually play with them again up to a month or more later and act as if nothing had changed since the last time we dropped in. This is probably the closest experience in recent gaming I've had to those nostalgic days of the 2000s on Xbox Live and TeamSpeak. Now, while you can still go out of your way and rather easily recreate these experiences, it really is something else to be blessed with it upon simply queuing up for standard matchmaking. Most of the popular multiplayer experiences simply don't encourage this, and if you're solo queue, you might as well just turn voice chat off because it usually isn't helpful. Even at higher ranks and levels in multiplayer games I've played solo queue in, you won't really hear anything outside the realm of your standard toxic Discord voice chat. Now, while I'll encourage you to be the change you want to see in the world, I don't blame you if you want to check out as soon as you hear someone who doesn't understand the concept of positioning in Overwatch or Apex Legends screech at you. There are a couple of reasons for Helldivers bringing back that classic feel and making you want to actually turn on the headset. On one hand, it is co-op, which does create a different dynamic than a lot of popular games of current. Then the nostalgic and aesthetic throughline is an obvious nod to the works of Paul Verhoeven. It may not exactly capture the same level of ideological exploration or critique, but I'd say that's probably for the better. It walks the perfect line to where it has successfully indoctrinated its player base to act as the expendable soldier that it wants them to be. If you want people to direct their efforts to a more efficient map in order to help conquer a sector faster, too bad, people are having fun dropping into certain planets and you'll just have to fall in line. This is only reinforced further by the official channels for Helldivers on social media congratulating the Meat Grinder volunteers. Helldivers has somehow created a player base happy to be commanded by Zap Brannigan.
You see, killbots have a preset kill limit. Knowing their weakness, I sent wave after wave of my own men at them until they reached their limit and shut down.
Now, while that might seem like an interesting future case study, you probably won't find anything that players of the game won't already tell you. The common theme that people have been experiencing that makes them disregard whatever criticisms one could make of the game is simply fun, which it mostly encapsulates in what should probably be the most important aspect of any game, the actual gameplay. Helldivers offers a vast array of perks, weapons, upgrades, and equipment called stratagems, each serving unique purposes and missions that range from capturing or defending objectives to facing specific adversaries. The depth of gameplay lies in strategically selecting and adapting loadouts, considering both individual objectives and team composition. Despite modest visuals, the game immerses players in intense combat with satisfyingly weighty sound effects, whether unleashing heavy machine gun fire or calling down thunderous artillery strikes. cooperative play is encouraged through various equipment designs, like the recoilless rifle with a separate supply pack, promoting teamwork and enhancing the effectiveness of each member within a 4-person squad. Helldivers supports drop-in co-op seamlessly, whether playing locally, online, or a combination of both, highlighting the importance of collaborative efforts in tackling challenging missions. In Helldivers, every mission is fraught with tension, as virtually everything, friend or foe, poses a deadly threat. A misplaced airstrike or drop pod can turn allies into casualties. The game's intricacies demand meticulous attention, from tactical positioning to maximizing weapon effectiveness, often at the cost of bloodshed. Yet the exhilaration of successfully repelling waves of enemies alongside your team and narrowly escaping in a dropship fosters a euphoric sense of achievement. While it has modest visual appeal, it's a sequel that manages to transcend expectations and bring itself to a new audience. It has its focus on the only thing that really matters to people at the end of the day, and if there's anything to take note of for other developers or creators, it's to make your product actually enjoyable for the audience. What did you think of Helldivers 2? Did you have any problems with the technical issues or gameplay? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for making it until the end of the video. We'd really appreciate it if you leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Here at Inner Spiral, we cover a mix of multimedia content, including the movies, TV shows, and games we all love, so be sure to join us, and we'll see you next time in the Spiral.